Hello dear students, welcome to the video lecturing of machine learning. So in the last videos we have been discussing about the concept learning and the general to specific ordering. So in the videos I have discussed about what is concept learning, what are the representation of concept learning, what is concept learning as a task. So I have discussed about this example, so over which this whole thing is called this is a set of things, and this is an animal which is a subset of this thing, and within the animal there is one more subset that is nothing but the bird. Okay, so we have defined this in the last class, what is concept and what is concept learning. Also I have discussed about the concept learning as a task by taking one example, that is called as our target concept was the day on which my friend Aldo enjoys the favorite water sport. So we have taken 6 attributes over there, that is sky, air temperature, humidity, wind, water and forecast, and all these attributes will have different values, and out of that I have discussed what are the notations that we are using over the different attribute values. So I have discussed about two main symbols. There is one is this question mark, another one is pi. Okay, so pi is a symbol which tells you no other values are accepted, and question mark will tell you any values can be accepted, right? So next we have discussed about this notation. I have also discussed about what are the values of each of the attributes. So we have sky with 3 possible values, sunny, cloudy and rainy, air temperature with 2 values, so like this. So this is 3, this is 2, 2, 2, 2 and 2. So all these except this sky, all these other attributes are having 2 values. So today we will discuss about the inductive learning hypothesis. So in the inductive learning hypothesis, what we will do is we will search for an appropriate target concept. Okay, so that means appropriate target concept. So out of all this n number of concepts, we are searching for appropriate concept. For example, I'll tell you one example with one diagram over here. So consider this is my hypothesis space where n number of functions are available like this. Okay, so this is hypothesis space which is represented by capital H, and all these are the concepts which belongs to this hypothesis space. I can call it as C. So now out of all these instances, consider this as instances, we have to take a particular instance. Okay, we have to take out a particular instance which will approximately or which will exactly matches to the target value. Suppose for example, consider this one, this attribute. So our target function that is whether Aldo can play tennis or not. If this input or if this concept is approximately or it is matching with that target concept, then we will take this as our particular inductive learning hypothesis, because this is giving you the approximately or exact answer. Okay, whereas if I consider this is not matching with my target concept only. If I take this is not matching. So why we are taking or why we are searching for only one best hypothesis? Because in the hypothesis space we have n number of hypotheses. Okay, and in that n number of hypotheses we have to take or we have to find that hypothesis which is approximately equal to our target function. Okay, we have some target function, right? So which hypothesis is matching to target function, that we have to find out. That is called as inductive learning. Okay, so as you can see here in the first point, notice that although the learning task is to determine a hypothesis H identical to the target concept. Okay, so out of all this we have to find out which is identical, which is exactly similar or approximately similar to my target concept. Okay, for entire set of instance X, and the only information available about C is the value over the training example. So of this, okay, of this what we are taking here is we are taking the training inputs. Okay, all these concepts, all these hypotheses will have some input values. Okay, for example, if I consider my previous value, the previous example, that is Aldo playing game. So all these attributes, air, temperature, wind, all these values are available over in this input or in this concept. So out of that I have to take the best one. The best one is nothing but what? The best one is nothing but the concept which is giving me positive result. Positive result is nothing but whether Aldo can play tennis or not on that day. So that particular concept I have to take. So consider this concept is not even matching to my Aldo's playing game. So I will discard this concept because here n number of concepts are available. Okay, so checking each and individual concept is become very complex. So we have to search for a particular concept which is exactly identical, which is exactly matching to our target set. Okay, so that we are calling it as inductive learning. So this, okay, there are several algorithms in the inductive learning which helps us to find out the particular target concept. Okay, so as you can see in the second point, therefore inductive learning algorithms can be best guarantee that the output hypothesis fits the target concept over the training data. So in the inductive learning, so we have many algorithms. So that algorithms will give you which concept is particularly fitting or which concept is exactly matching to our training data. So that the concept I have to take out and I have to use it in our particular problem. Okay, right. So as you can see here, definition. So the inductive learning hypothesis, any hypothesis found to approximate the target function well over sufficiently large set of training examples. So as I have drawn that diagram, there are n number of examples. Okay, n number of training sets are there. Out of that I have to take a particular concept or particular training example which suits or which fits to my training data, right? Okay, so that is called as inductive learning hypothesis. So I hope this point is clear to all of you. So let us move on to the next. So concept learning as a search. Okay, so we have seen what is concept learning, and now we have to search for a particular concept. Out of all this concept in a hypothesis space, I have to search which concept suits me, my training data, or which concepts best fits my training data. So this word is very important. Fits means it is exactly matching to my training data. So I can call it as best fit also. Okay, best fits. So you might have gone through this kind of words, best fit, worst fit in your algorithm. Best means that is the best possible combination over here. Okay, right. So here as we know that our goal is to search or is to find the hypothesis that best fits the training example. As I have already told you, so we use the word best fit. Okay, so you know what is best fit, worst fit. Okay, all these values. So best fit means which exactly matches with my training data. So why we are searching for that training example? The reason is very simple, because out of n number, okay, we have n number of hypotheses over in the hypothesis space. Okay, this is a space in that n number of hypotheses are present, and if we test for each of the hypothesis, each of this training example, it becomes very, very complex. Okay, now what we will do is we will use our inductive search algorithm to search one particular concept. Okay, consider this particular concept, and this concept best fits our training example. Okay, this concept best fits our training example, and that concept only we are using in our problems. Okay, so now as we can see here, our example which I have taken previously, Aldo's water sport game. Okay, so we have 6 attributes over there. So sky, air temperature, humidity, wind, water, and forecast. And you know that sky has 3 value. Already I have explained it. Okay, sky has 3 value. Rest others are having 2 values. Okay, so rest others are having 2 values. So sky is 3 value, air temperature 2, humidity 2, wind is 2, water is 2 and forecast is 2, and if you multiply all this, it becomes how many total instances you will get? You will get 95 instances. Okay, sorry, 96 instances. So as it is given here, so 96 distinct instances are possible. Okay, so I am taking for only one example over here. Okay, so if I take that example, and how many different instances that I will get from that? I will get 96 different instances from that. Now all these instances are having two more values. For example, sky will have two more values. One is question mark, another one is pi. Okay, so I have to consider these two values also, these two symbols also, where question mark tells you any value I can take, and pi I can tell you you cannot take any of the values. Okay, so this is general, that means any value you can take. This is specific, no other value you have to take. Okay, if I add that two values in all these attributes, okay, so it becomes 3 becomes 5. Okay, for sky we had 3 values. Now if I add this question mark as well as this pi, then it becomes 5, and rest other becomes 4, because already it has 2 values. If I add these two, question mark and pi, it becomes 4. Okay, so now how many total distinct instances are there? We have 5120 different instances or different hypotheses are there in the hypothesis space. Okay, so hypothesis space contains 5120, and out of that, searching a particular concept becomes very difficult. Okay, so because these are more number of hypotheses are there, 5120 means it is very much. Okay, so now what we will do here is, we will take that pi symbols, the training data which are however one or more training data or more number of training data are there, which is having these kind of symbols, and these kind of symbols classifying the instances, most of the time it classifies the instances negatively. So what we will do is, we will take that out. Okay, we will take that out. So from this we will take one out. Okay, that is pi symbols out, and remaining, so I have taken one out, means here 4 remaining, here 3 remaining, here remaining is 3, here 3, here 3, and last one is also 3. So if you do multiply, then it becomes 973. Look at this, I have reduced the total number of hypotheses from 5120 to only 973. So that means now I can easily search. Okay, so rather than this 5120 searching in this space, it becomes difficult, but now the value is reduced to 973. It becomes somewhat easier to me to search for a particular target concept. So that's what exactly the meaning of concept learning as a search. So what we are doing, out of all these hypotheses, we are selecting only some hypothesis to search. Okay, that best suits my training example. Okay, so as 5120 is very large, searching may take, sometimes it may take, or it may take n number, n square or n cube, so power of n. So this time complexity is very large. Okay, so searching becomes very difficult. Hence what we are doing is, we are taking negative, that is pi, almost all times it will give negative value. So we are taking that out, and remaining it becomes 4 into 3 into, so like this, 5 times 3, so it becomes 973. So now we are reducing the hypothesis. Okay, so that means from this hypothesis space which containing this much 5120, we are taking only this much, that is 973. Now searching within this space is very easier than searching in the entire space. Okay, so this is actually the meaning of target concept learning as a search. Okay, right. So now I am going to discuss about general to specific ordering hypothesis. Okay, so I told you what is general and what is specific hypothesis. Consider I have considered, out of this n number of hypotheses, I have considered only 2 examples over here. So consider this is H1 hypothesis and this is H2 hypothesis, and these are the values for our attributes. So we have 6 attributes and these are the 6 values. So first value is for sky. Okay, so you already know this sky, wind, air, temperature, all these attributes are there and all are having some different values. So now for H1, if I take this hypothesis which is present in the hypothesis space, so hypothesis space is represented by capital H. Okay, and in that hypothesis space I am considering one subset, a small individual part of that, that is H1, that is small hypothesis. And these hypotheses are having, as I told, it is having training values. And what are the training values? These are my training values. 6 attributes are there, 6 different values are there. So this is the value for sky. Now question mark means what? Question mark means I can take any value for that attribute. This is air temperature. Okay, air temperature will have 2 values. I can take any value for that. And here also the third attribute, I think third attribute was humidity, right? So humidity, 2 values are there, I can take any value. Next, this one is for wind. Wind is strong. So here I have to take only strong. There is another value for wind, that is weak. I am not taking that value, I am taking only strong. Okay, and then other 2 attributes again I can take any values. Now consider the second hypothesis. So now again for sky I am taking sunny. I cannot take other 2 attributes. Okay, there are total 3 attributes for sky, but here I am taking sunny. Other 2 attributes are not I am considering. Okay, for this example. So this is question mark. Second attribute means air temperature, I can take any value. Third attribute, humidity, I can take any value. So now as you can see here in H1, the wind I have considered as strong, but here I am considering it as question mark. The meaning is, in the first hypothesis it will take the input only when sky is sunny and wind is strong. But in the second hypothesis it will take the input only sky value is sunny, but rest other values can be anything. Okay, now you have to tell me which one is general here out of H1 and H2, which one is general and which one is specific. So if you observe here, this becomes more specific. That means it is adding more constraint over the hypothesis, because it is adding 2 constraint, one for sky value, one for wind value. But here it is not adding more constraint, it is having only one constraint, that is on sky value. Okay, rest other you can take any value. So that means I can tell you that H2 is more general. H2 is more general. H1 is specific than H2. Am I right? Okay, H1 is specific than H2. Okay, H2 becomes general because H2 is not adding more constraint. Okay, it is having only few constraint, that is only one constraint on sky, but H1 is having 2 constraint. One is on sky value also, another one is on wind value also. Okay, so now our job is to take the general hypothesis to